And so when I say Chinese, I want you to scream out the nation that's associated with this. For example, if I say Chinese, you're going to say what?
China.
All right, let's say it with authority. When I say Chinese, you say what?
China.
All right, that's just a test right there. So here we go. Chinese.
China.
Russian.
Russia.
Italian.
Italy.
German.
Germany.
Swedish.
Sweden.
Korean.
Korea.
Egyptian.
Egypt.
Nigerian.
Nigeria.
Black.
Exactly. Nothing. Tell him, Pastor. Tell him, Pastor. Black, nothing.
I hope you were able to successfully identify the issue.
The lion won't sleep tonight. 'Cause we woke now, and we woke now. I said the lion won't sleep tonight. 'Cause we woke now, and we woke now. They want us to sell our souls to barter profit. Like God's property, it's hard to market. So we steady to aim, keep your eyes on target. The lion won't sleep tonight. 'Cause we woke now, and we woke now. I said the lion won't sleep tonight. 'Cause we woke now, and we woke now. They want us to sell our souls to barter profit. Like God's property, it's hard to market. So we steady to aim, keep your eyes on target. 'Cause when you got to drive, yeah, they'd rather you park it. But I don't valet, you ain't getting these keys. I'm keeping closed hands, I'm on bended knee. I'm just a reflection, dealing with 8 sections. Art mixed with life, you can feel the convection. Your lion won't sleep tonight. 'Cause we woke now, and we woke now. I said the lion won't sleep tonight. 'Cause we woke now, and we woke now. I said the
We're going to take back our country, and we're going to make Israel great again, and we're going to make Israel great again,
and we're going to make Israel great again.
we're going to make America great again. We're going to make them both great again, greater than ever before. They don't pay rent, the city doesn't have, it's a chain of events that's so bad. One rough hour, and I mean real rough, the word will get out and it will end immediately. End immediately. You know, it'll end immediately. We are the party of common sense. I knew that once they had open borders, all of the countries, I didn't think about all over the world. I thought in South America, it's all over the world. Last week, a lot of people came in from the Congo, a big prison in the Congo in Africa. Welcome to the United States. They came in from the Congo. They came in from the Congo. They came in from the Congo.
Hitler was, and the Nazis, of course, expanded on Margaret Sanger's approach to eugenics, right? Eugenics was a movement that was born in the United States under hard doctrines of racism with the intent of eliminating the tribe of Judah in the African-American community in this country, right? To eliminate them.
This world and the next world are asymmetrical. The next world is where the majority of a person's actions, which determine his identity, are compensated. For the righteous, they exist in the world to come and they're rewarded. And for those whose major complexion is black, are excluded from the world to come.
To all my Jewish friends, my Jewish brothers and sisters, stand tall. Stand tall. Do not let this fear, this sadness, this anxiety, and this dread overwhelm you. Draw strength from your family, from your friends, from your ancestors, and the worldwide bond that we share that has always put the battery in your back. We're used to being looked at as different because that's what we are. We are different, and that's a good thing. I know that Jews are looked at as weak, but we're stronger than you can imagine. That's why you hurl propaganda. We control all the money. We control the media because it's plausible. It's plausible because we're just that good. Smart, compassionate, moral, and strong people. And we need to stand taller than ever against all those sick, dumb, uneducated black tar in their blood who hate Jews because they ain't. You hate us because you ain't us.
The last thing we need to do is to tell Israel what to do. The only thing we should be doing is supporting them and eliminating Hamas. It is not that Israel needs America. America needs Israel.
I have said to people when they ask me, if this capital crumbled to the ground, the one thing that would remain is our commitment to our aid, and I don't even call it aid, our cooperation with Israel. That's fundamental.
To people in my party, I'm tired of this crap. Israel is our friend. They're the most reliable friend we have in the Mideast. They're a democracy, surrounded by people who would cut their throats if they could. This is not a hard choice if you're an American. It's not a hard choice if you're a Christian. A word of warning. If America pulls the plug on Israel, God will pull the plug on us.
The largest ever U.S. delegation to Israel just took place. 250 state legislators from all 50 states arrived Monday for an event called 50 States, One Israel. They planted 50 trees at a site of the October 7th attacks and met with Israeli leaders. Netanyahu's office called it the biggest bipartisan visit of American lawmakers to Israel. Foreign Minister Gideon Sa'ar urged them to push anti-BDS laws in their states, which are meant to discourage boycotts of Israel. So far, 38 states have already adopted such measures. Sa'ar described BDS as part of a coordinated global effort against Israel, saying the best response has been anti-BDS legislation. But the trip's timing sparked controversy. The very next day, the UN ruled for the first time that Israel is committing genocide in Gaza, while Israel relaunched its ground invasion of Gaza City. And despite its scale and timing, this massive visit has barely been covered by international media. Only local Israeli outlets reported on it, leaving many to question why such a major event went largely unnoticed.
And secondly, we're going to have to use the tools of battle. You know, the weapons change over time. You can't fight today with swords. That doesn't work very well, okay? And you can't fight with cavalry. That doesn't work very well. And you have these new things, you know, like drones, things like that. I won't get into that. But we have to fight with the weapons that apply to the battlefields in which we're engaged. And the most important ones are the social media. And the most important purchase that is going on right now is followers. TikTok. TikTok. Number one. And I hope it goes through because it can be consequential. And the other one, what's the other one that's most important? X. Exactly. Very good. And, you know, so we have to talk to Elon. He's not an enemy. He's a friend. We should talk to him. Now, if we can get those two things, we get a lot. And I could go on other things, but that's not the point right now. We have to fight the fight, okay? To give direction to the Jewish people and give direction to our non-Jewish friends or those who could be our Jewish our friends. Are we going to succeed with everyone? No. Will there be a strong counterpart? Yes.
בזמן שישראל לאחרונה נמצאת מטקסט כמה עניינים. מה שרואה עוד, וגם את שעדיין משאיר ליבו, אז הייתה מה שהוא עם מה ידיעתו. הכלי מספיק, כאילו שהיום כבר כמה שעות התבלבל ועדיין לבוא, אבל יש עוד כמה שעות, אבל יש להשתדל גם היום, בבשורות טובות. יש שמחה וטוב לבוא. כדי שחסידים מקפידים שכל עניינים יהיו שמחה. בשורות טובות, הצלחה רבה.
Genesis chapter 11, verse 10 explains the genealogy of Shem. Shem was a black man in Africa. If you repeat this fact, they can't laugh at you. If you repeat this fact, they can't laugh at you. If you repeat this fact, they can't laugh at you.
Wow, family. I want to apologize for the delay because I was going to go live earlier. Initially, I was going to deal with the cult of Baal from a perspective of cremation, the cremation rituals. It goes a lot deeper. And just so happened, I had heard about that last video clip that you saw that was posted on Truth Social by the current commander-in-chief. So I decided to go to Truth Social and go through the postings of the commander-in-chief. And I saw that video. So I began to work on a presentation, but it was taking me longer, to put my graphics that you see. You guys know I like to be sharp with my presentation. Family, we are truly in the 9th hour. That video was an AI generated video that was posted by the commander-in-chief. That is a video posted by the commander-in-chief. So much to unpack. I just didn't have enough time. I said, man, you know what? I'm gonna have to get back into my docu videos that I would do. I'm gonna have to make this into a full, all-out docu video. I'm gonna play the video again. I took the song out because there was an AI generated song that went along with the video. But I took the song out because I didn't want to get flagged. Now, family, some of you guys saw that me and Berean Scholar did a live last night. Guess what happened to that live? Guess what happened to that live? that live was blocked because it was flagged for having copyright material. Copyright material. So they blocked it. Guess what was the copyright material? It was a clip, a news clip that Berean scholars shared. I think Eyewitness News broadcasted it about Chicago, how they are raiding our communities in Chicago. And they associated that clip, the material, to be connected to some international group. Now I'm going to show you that. I'm going to show you that so you guys can see that I am not making this stuff up. And then they said that they are not going to give me a copyright strike. So let me do this first. Before we get into what I want to share with you guys, see, this is why it's so important, family. I know I lasted a lot longer. When I say this channel lasted a lot longer than I anticipated. But I learned something. I learned that in order to really protect yourself when you're doing these in these spaces, you have to use their information. You have to have them saying certain things. And always source up. Do not just blurt things out without actually having sources to back it up. That's right. It's nothing but the Most High. All praises to Yahweh. That's the reason why we're still going. Now, I know that, you guys already saw it, not trying to open up a can of worms. But, there were some spaces out there that tried to come up with some crazy things saying that I am an agent. I am an agent. That's why the channel lasted so long. And who do I normally go in on? You guys know it. If you go back over to this channel, what is the group that you see me going in on with sources and using their own sources? It's the 1948ers. I got receipts, family, that I sacrificed to get this truth out. I was working as a program manager for the number one telecom business. And when I did the Black Lives Matter speech, word got around. So they couldn't just, fire me or nothing like that. You know how they got rid of me? They shut down the entire department where our partners, other businesses, that was primary on the contract. They questioned the decision because I was the one that put together the entire infrastructure from their routers and switches, putting together a whole jump server, you name it, I did it, to their operating systems, from Windows servers to Linux servers, coming up with, I did all of that from scratch, the entire infrastructure. I'm not mentioning certain things because I want to make sure that I stay away from certain spaces. I literally redesigned that entire infrastructure. implemented contact management, change control on a dev environment, production environment, as well as a sandbox. Some of you techies know what I'm talking about. You name it. Not just from the network operating system to the Cisco routers. Also, I built and put together their whole database infrastructure from Oracle to SQL, their crystal reportings. Did all of that by myself. Of course, I had a team to implement these things, but I was the one that laid out the entire infrastructure, took something that had all kinds of vulnerabilities on a multi-billion-dollar contract. And guess what? They let the entire organization go just to get to me. And what happened? How did I find out? My old director reached out to me and shared with me what happened. In the Most High, because I was ready to go through the legal. And the Most High said to me, "Fear ye not, stand still, see the salvation of Yahweh." These Egyptians that you see here today, they will not have power over us ever again. The Most High will fight for us. I just have to hold my peace. Oh, trust me, family. I was ready to legal lawyer up. So let me, before I show you what they did to the video, because I'm going to show you that, but let me share with you again the video clip that's AI generated from the commander-in-chief. It is so many symbols in it. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Let's play it again. And I want you guys, and I know this late, and most of the people are going to catch this in the replay. It's all good. But I'm going to play this video again. And I want you guys to post inside the comment section the things that you observed in this video clip. Now, again, I took the original song, AI generated song from it, and put my music up under it. Just so that way it stays clear from that copyright stuff. Let me play it. Here it is. Let me play it again. Let me see here. A lot to unpack in that video, family. It closes out with the House representative, the minority representative, Jeffries, also Chuck Schumer, who are puppets Chuck Schumer is part of the 1948ers. Jeffries is on the payroll of AIPAC. So therefore, he is part of this system because AIPAC controls both sides, both the Democrats and the Republicans. So all what you're seeing on display is a bunch of fluff. A bunch of fluff. What you see here on display, you have a commander in chief who was impeached not once but twice for the situation on January 6th for inciting a riot on Capitol Hill. Gets voted back in and now makes videos about taking all the power from Capitol Hill, and also death is coming. Family, you guys, many of you guys that's been watching this channel, and especially what I posted last year, remember, I've been warning our community that they were going to do a purge. He literally said he was going to do a purge. All he needed is the opportunity to do so. Family, it's all about purging. It's coming at our community, but have to put other things on the face of it. But ultimately, when you look at Chicago, they went to whose neighborhood? They went to the projects, right? Invaded. When you go to DC, where did they go to? Family, remember I spoke on this. I posted video after video with him saying 1 rough hour, that's all he need. You even had brothers and sisters from within this community pushing support for this guy. See, the purge is happening, family. You think that it was a coincidence of cutting programs like cancer research, 80,000 plus doctors, lawyers, counselors that work at the Veterans Administration? You think that it was a coincidence of cutting $10 trillion from what is called the Affordable Act, Medicare, all those things that deals with health? You think that that was a coincidence? And by the way, the healthcare system was designed to keep us out. Let me say that again. The healthcare system was designed to keep us out, not to have us included, to make sure that we didn't have the resources to go to the hospitals, to make sure we didn't have the resources. That's why many of our ancestors, many of our elders had to come up with alternatives. Look it up, family. The healthcare system was designed not for us, to keep us out. So when you hear Make America Great Again, it's targeting. You know who it's primarily targeting. And use lies of immigration. Oh my goodness, family. Remember when I taught about this? Now I'll bring some scriptures up. Go back and look at it. I made it clear how Hamashiach in Matthew's chapter 24 highlighted 3 periods of affliction. The first period was during the 7 AD that he prophesied when he dealt with the beginning of sorrows. The second period is the Great Tribulation. And then immediately after the Great Tribulation, which I believe we have just transitioned to a year ago officially, that period where there's going to be a cry among all of the tribes of Israel, the true Israelites. Why? Because that cry of affliction. Family, I'm not trying to take credit for anything. This is all the Most High. People laughed in this community when I said that the transatlantic world war wasn't a slave trade, it was a world war where over 150 million of our people were raped, murdered, and kidnapped. And it's been reduced to a slave trade. But we been programmed through the Eurocentric word eschatology to continue to perpetuate their deception, their delusions. Oh, family, it's deep, family. It is deep, family. We have to sound the alarm. We have to sound the alarm, family. I know I can sometimes feel like Elijah being by himself. And some of you guys probably feel the same way. And then the Most High had to remind, like how he reminded Elijah, he got others hiding in the cut that's doing the same. Come on, family. So let me show you something. Then we're going to talk about this a little more. Let me get this. Let me pull up this back office with YouTube. First, I'm going to do my Gmail. I'm going to show you the email that I initially got from Gmail. Let me pull it up real quick. All right. Let me do something here. All right. Also, let me show you the back office. Let me pull that up as well, real quick. And then I'm going to share this with you guys. But first, I want to do a couple of things first. All right. Let me make sure here. Let me get the back office up here. All right. Let's see here. Let me go to the video itself, live itself that they blocked. All right. All right. So let me do this real quick. Let me move this over to another screen so we can look at this together. All right. And I'm going to walk you guys through. First, let's pull this out. Let me zoom this in more. Actually, let me share it right now. And I'm not sure if Berean Scholar and those guys are in the building. If so, I'll drop the link if you want to come on, or Sister Carol, but let me show you guys here. Let me stop this screen. All right. And let me share another screen with you guys. Bear with me 1 second. All right. I'm going to zoom in. Let me show you what I received this about actually 8:26 a few hours ago. Let me zoom this in. All right, let me do this real quick. Can you guys see that? All right. If you guys can see that, type 1 if that's clear. Now look at this. I received this at October 4th, 2025, 4 hours ago. Hi, We Woke Now. Copyrighted content has been detected in your video. They control TikTok, the media. As a result, your video has been blocked and can no longer be played on YouTube. This is not a copyright strike and does not affect your channel. They block the video globally. See, family, normally when this happens, if there's some copywritten content, what they do, they would just block, they'll just tell you can't monetize the video. Not completely block it globally. So it's some company by the name of, as you see here, LWT International YouTube 1225. Content owner, Avalon. Audio, video, block globally. So before we see who this is, right? Let me show you the other thing that when I went further with this to see, narrow down what's what. What you see here is the back office to this video, right? This is the administration console. I know when I say back office, that's a little dated, right? But that's what we used to call it, the back office, right? You know, I know they call it studio now, YouTube Studio. But let me zoom this in. And as you can see here, it says blocked. I'm going to drop the link for Berean Scholar. I see him in the building. Let me put this inside the chat. All right. Let me put this in the chat for you to jump on, my brother, if you're able. I know it's kind of late. So look at this. They said the video is blocked. Visibility is blocked, period. So if I go here where it says copyright restrictions, let me look at the details. Let's go to see details. It says here, content used, LWT International YouTube copy, whatever. So we're going to copy that and we're going to see what that is. So it gives me some options here, right? So I decide to look at the details. So when I go to the details, right, as you can see, it gives the hour, minute, and second mark of the video. All right, before I continue, let me bring Berean Scholar in real quick.
Got one, brother.
Yo. Yo, we'll say yo.
You know, we talked about this, what you're saying right now. And I looked up a podcaster who had the exact same clip on his podcast. I think it's Reese Waters. Played the exact same clip.
It got flagged?
No flags.
Oh yeah. See, shoot me that because I'm a contested, but right now I didn't have, I didn't have time to do
it. See the number of viewers he had. Wow.
Oh, I'm sure he probably got millions.
Yeah.
They want to make sure they suppressed it. Coming from, go ahead.
He was towing the company line though. He was trying to come against a certain person, but so
Yeah. So look at this here, family. Now I'm going to zoom in so you can see. Can you guys see it? If you guys can see it, type 1. I'm zooming in even more so you guys can see it. All right. When I scroll down, impact on the video, visibility, the video can't be seen. The video can't be monetized. Right? So it gives me an option. I can either contest it, appeal it, or just have them crop it out. So I'm like, okay, well, what is this section? So I clicked on the section. Let's see what section this is. And this is what according to this is what, a 30-second. Let's peep it out. You see what's on the screen, family? I'm stopping it real quick because they may try to flag this. You know what I mean? That's crazy, right? But I want you to see, it's a news article, a news outlet who reported this. Berean Scholar created a video off of it, uploaded it, followed all the community guidelines, and then streamed it while we was doing our live last night, shared it on here. And it's flagged. That's right. No, wait, please don't. 30 seconds out of a 2-hour video. They took 30 seconds, blocked an entire video from 30 seconds of public information of a news outlet. Family, when I say it's real, I got lists of what I had to deal with. It's still dealing with it. Berean Scholar channel is being suppressed. Go ahead, Berean Scholar.
I sent you that thing. I put the marker in your text, so you have it. And you're right. They are now going off and things. You can post something and you see it, take it off, and also it stops. They stop people from seeing it. And I think some number of people have shared comments, and I think they're blocking those. So,
I think I left my cell phone. Did you post it in the comments here?
Yeah.
All right. Let me see. Let me look at the back office here.
I'll do it right now.
And I want to say fair use, even though it doesn't matter, because it says fair use on the video itself. And I have the ticker at the bottom saying fair use. All right, I see the private chat. Let me.
And this person didn't use fair use. Didn't say it, just showed it.
Yeah. All right. I see it. Yeah, I know who that guy is.
Yeah.
Bummer Clyde. Right. Yeah, I know who that guy is. So, family, I'm showing you this because we talked about this. We talked about this. We were just talking about this last night. We were just talking about this last night. When I say they are watching, they are watching. So they had to take a news clip and make it so that way they come up with a false claim. So I can technically, if I want to, all I have to do is just crop out that clip. But then in the video can be seen. But I'm not going to do that. I'll contest it, but I know we'll see what happens. But I'm going to list the different outlets that have played that same video, and I know we'll see what happens. I'm not even going to say I know it's going to be overturned. Nah, I'm not going to guarantee that because they still posed or kept whatever decisions up. But anyway, family, I want to share this portion with you, and I want to get back over to the Donald Trump. All right. Let me get back over to the commander in chief. But I wanted to share this with you, family, to show you just how influential, right? Just what they're doing right now, just influential. Go beyond that, because more than just being influential, how controlling the 1948ers are. And of course, the current administration when it comes to censorship. Let me, while we have it up, let's see what LWT and International, what is that? Let me see what that is. Since we have it up, let's create another browser here. Let's see here. What is okay. All right. Doesn't really give you much. Let me hit the AI mode. Look at this. While a definitive LWT International YouTube, whatever, could not be identified, a review of search results suggests it's likely either a misnomer for the YouTube channel of the religious organization Living the True Word International, or a copy of a video from the late night comedy show Late Week Tonight. Interesting, right, family? I just hit AI mode. This is still part of the search here. I wanted to see what their AI mode was going to pull up here. All right. So let's go ahead and bring back up my other clip here. My presentation. Let's see here. Let me remove this here. All right, let's see. All right, family. There's a lot on this to unpack. And I'm going to share the video one more time, and then I want to do some of this stuff on the fly because I didn't get a chance to put the whole presentation together because I shifted at the last minute. All right, so let's play the video again. And Berean Scholar, I'm not sure if you've seen this video. This is video that this is a video that the Commander-in-Chief posted on his Truth Social profile on his channel because he owns Truth Social. Let me play it again. And family, I want to put the message out. Leave TikTok alone. Let's make a massive departure from there. Real quick, got to get right. You know they can't stop this truth. All praises to the Most High. Hallelujah. I'm in total agreement with you. Family, let's give some shout outs to Gotta Get Right for the love and support. Thank you for the super sticker, the super chat rather. Really appreciate it. Thank you. Really appreciate it. Hallelujah. All right. So this is the video that he shared. And what you see on your screen, this image right here, This is actually from the video that he created. His team created AI generated video to post on social media, on his social channel. Here it goes. He's not hiding what he's doing. He's blunt, blatant. See that image at the end with the Halloween thing? That's imagery of a purge.
Exactly.
That is an image of a purge. So, guys, type your comments in it, what you observed about the video clip. Berean Scholar, share your thoughts and share your thoughts in the comment section. We're going to go over it, and I'm going to highlight a couple of things, just give you some facts about the Grand Reaper.
Now I know you couldn't play the original song that he played because of copyright, but it was can I say the title?
You said do I understand the title, or
I mean, it was okay. Me say the title.
Yeah, you can say the title. It's just that we can't play
I know,
the video. That's why I took the music from behind
Well,
it.
he had he doing that to the song "Fear the Reaper." If anybody know that song, you know what it's saying, "Fear the Reaper," and that's what he's saying. He's saying that this guy who's part of the Project 25, Project 225, the guy he's getting to cut and fire people, all that, he's the Reaper. I mean, this language.
That's
This
right.
language he's putting out, and if you watch propaganda social, you see nothing but lies and stuff to incite the people who follow him.
Absolutely. 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 I'm just looking through the chat while you're speaking just to see what comments we got coming in.
And just to make a point, Pastor, I have never been on True Social. You showed that video, and I was like, wow. So what I did while you was talking, I went on, logged in, made a fake name account just to see it. And I said, and I saw the stuff. I said, man, these people are crazy. I mean, I know the news is twisted stuff, but this is right out lying.
Absolutely. And they had some other videos. I mean, it's family. When I say we need the Most High like never before, like never before. The last thing we should be worrying about as a community is flesh stuff.
Oh, yeah.
I'm being real with you guys. I got to just say it. You got brothers and sisters out here trying to push polygamy. Polygamy is not the answer. Pushing all kinds of things that's contrary to the scriptures. Those things are not the answer. If all you can think about is your flesh and think that your flesh is going to bring salvation, then you are a antichrist. Point blank. A liar. And I'm just using that as an example because you have brothers and sisters right now pushing polygamy, its head is raising up again in this awakening. And I can tell you emphatically, none of them are practicing polygamy, because polygamy is illegal in this country. If they really felt like they should be practicing or have the right to practice polygamy, go down to the courts and get multiple marriage certificates and get married and see what happens. They're nothing more than boyfriend and girlfriends. Many of them doing all kinds of crazy stuff, passing women around, the whole nine. Anyway, let me digress from that.
You're right, brother.
We focusing on stuff like that, and we got deception right down our staring us in the face, telling us what it's going to do. Did you notice the zombies?
Yep.
The Walking Dead. He's making it clear that there's going to be death all through the communities.
And they want to get rid of certain people so their pure bloods can still thrive. And we in the community, they want to get rid of.
Come on, family. Come on, family. That's why the scripture says the elect is going to barely make it. It says scarcely make it. Because we're majoring in the minors and technically making the minors become a major. Because that's a salvation issue. That's right, Steve-O. Brothers out here trying to debate polygamy, and here we have a bigger threat on the rise.
Yes. Amen.
Still hustling them through their flesh. And all you could think about is flesh.
And that's the same wine of deception that came from the whore Babylon that we're still drinking in the new awakening. Because
exactly.
that's the same thing that Reverend Ike came out of. Money was flesh. Greed was flesh. All the other twisting of so-called the gospel, it was flesh. We're drinking of that wine of deception.
Exactly. Exactly. And family, you could go and see inside my not Facebook channel, but my playlist, and you'll see a list titled Wolves in Sheep's Clothing. And you'll see I had to answer this because someone got very, very, very sensitive about that subject and began to call themselves calling me out, disrespecting me and my wife, and had to address that. So family, let's pivot from that and let's transition over to some key information that we may not have caught and may not truly understand, especially when you see that figure, that grim reaper figure here. You know, of course, inside the video, you saw JD Vance on the drums. You also saw Russ Vault. You know, he's the architect of the Project 25, the very thing that the commander in chief said that he don't support, but he put this person in charge. And what is he talking about doing? Further carrying out Project 25. Everything you see is laid out in Project 25. Now, let's deal with this. Cult of Baal, here comes death. Let me say that again. The cult of Baal, here comes death. That's what he's saying. Here comes death. This is a couple of quotes from the song that we can't play because of the flags. Now their time has come. Here the power's gone. Here comes the Reaper. This is coming from the supposedly the most powerful position in the world. If you guys understand New York, New Jersey, Philadelphia, even Chicago politics. This is what would be considered racketeering. To say, if you don't vote here, I'm going to delete all these jobs right here. Basically, that's like putting a gun to someone's head and say, it's your fault if you don't make the right decision. It's your fault that I have to do this to these people. Come on, family. Oh my goodness. Let's see what this means. What is the origins of the Grand Reaper? It starts with understanding Amazons. I know y'all saying, what? Amazons? Amazons? What do you guys think? Do you really believe that I'm going to show you the connection between the Grand Reaper and Amazons? Because that sounds kind of funny on the surface, doesn't it? That really sounds funny, right? But let's talk about it a little bit. Let's deal with Amazons. Greek name for goddess worshiping tribes in North Africa, Anatolia, and the Black Sea. Due to an erroneous belief that Amazon warriors destroyed the right breast to be unhindered in drawing bow, some derive from the name derive the name from Amazos, in other words, breastless. But the Greek representation of Amazons showed no such mutilation. The idea may have arisen from Asiatic icons of primal excuse me, I'm not even gonna butcher this. What is it? Androgyne? I'm not, forgive me, family. All right. With a male right half and a female left half. Echo, you see what I'm getting at with it?
Androgyny.
Okay, androgyny. I'm not trying to butcher it here. All right. All right. Appreciate it, brilliant scholar. But the key that we see, it shows here that the association is with the goddess Artemis. But it didn't stop there. But this is what's interesting. Scholars now say the word Amazon meant moon woman. Moon woman. Now, here's a key point about Amazons. Look at this here. In Amazonian myths, the goddess was often worshipped as a mare. India's mare mother, Sarmanu, marehead Demeter, or Cretan. Look at what it points to. Cretan Lukepi, or Lukep, the white mare, whose priests were castrated and wore a female dress. Wait a minute. The priests were castrated, wore a female dress. What does that sound like to you, Berean scholar?
That sound like that trans all this movement we have here.
Now, here's something interesting here. It says among Scythians or Scythians, also men entered the service of the goddess by castrating themselves. Wait a minute. We're dealing with who again? The Scythians. Among Scythians also men entered the service of the goddess by castrating themselves and adopting women's clothing. The only deity shown in Scythian art was the great goddess, whom the Greeks called Artemis, or Hestia, or Gaia, in other words, the earth. Some of the Scythians settled in Parthia, which is also referred to as Virgin Land, named after their goddess. Wait a minute. So we see that this connects to the Scythians.
Keep coming up.
Scythians were governed by priestess queens, usually buried alone in richly furnished kurgans, in other words, queen graves. And it just tells you that it was discovered in southern Russia in 1954. But here's the key. Scythian priestesses were elder women old enough to have gray hair. They performed traditional sacrifices, catching the blood in sacred cauldrons and taking omens from the entrails. They also accompanied their armies into battle to cast spells for victory. But look at this right here, Berean scholar. This is what's interesting. The moon sickle, used in mythical castrations of gods, was a Scythian weapon. So that weapon you see with the Grand Reaper, that's a Scythian weapon. Wow. It's right in our face. That moon sickle, used in mythical castrations of gods, was a Scythian weapon, a long-handled form, therefore came to be called a Scythe, and was assigned to the Grim Reaper, who was originally Rhea Cronia, in the guise of Mother Time.
Wait. You have done extensive teaching about the Scythians and their connection.
Oh my gosh. I'm going to put some of that in here.
And this is the first time you brought this information up, because I follow your stuff.
You know I'm a geek, man. You know I got to keep something back in the chamber, right? You know.
But also, for those of you who've been on this call, we know that Pastor Kelly has we've done two lives about the coat of Baal, and if you don't see what's right in front of it, it's all coming. Common denominator comes up every time throughout history.
It continues to come up. It continues to come up. And we want to deal with their sacrifices here in a second. I'm going to have to copy paste some stuff over. But family, this is no coincidence. As Berean scholar noted, the common denominator with all these groups is the Scythians. They're the common denominator between the Ashkenaz to the Khazarians, all the way to the Vikings. And the connection to the Vikings is called the Scythian Jots, which is actually also referred to as the Jutes and Jutish. This is where you get the word, right? It's an English word that derived from the Jutes and Jutish. You would have never thought that the Vikings are connected to them. You would have never thought that. Would you, Berean?
You cannot make this stuff up. No.
You see how deep the rabbit hole goes? Go ahead, Berean Scott. I'm sorry, I cut you off, man.
No, I'm just saying you can just the Jutes, the names, the language, the symbolism. I know, everybody who's been around in the United States know what the Reaper were, but to know that where it came back from and who it is, trace back to all the suffering and tragedy we've been through, what they done to us, man. Back through the Inquisition and wow.
Is that crazy or what? That rabbit hole goes so deep, family. So deep. So deep. That symbolism that you see in that video is so deep, family. So it goes on, and I see your share here. We'll pull that up in a second, Berean scholar.
It's just at your leisure. That's what you used.
So it says Scythian women apparently use weapons in battle, as well as in religious ceremonies and agriculture. Diodorus says Scythian women fight like men and are now wise inferior to them in bravery. But it goes on to say, let me see here. Anything else here that I want to pull from here? And it goes on to say, A Scythian girl was allowed to marry only after she had killed 3 enemies in battle. It's a lot to unpack, family. It is so much to unpack. So much to unpack. So much to unpack. And we'll pull up the diagram of the body of the cult of Baal here in a second, and we're going to tie this in. So look at this here, family. What is the origins of the Grim Reaper? What's the origins of the Grim Reaper? The Grim Reaper is a distorted echo of Rhea Chronia, the flowing mother of time. The Scyth or Sith, originally her moon sickle, as we pointed out, was an emblem of fertility, lunar rhythm, and sacred death, and also a symbol of terror. The cycle of kingship, castration, death, renewal was the ritualized harvest presided over the goddess. So what is the connection of a cowbell and the Grim Reaper? Real quick, and we'll go to this image. I got some other stuff I'm gonna pull in about the Scythians, or just a refresher. Especially when we deal with the sacrifices, to understand that Scythe, that weapon, was used for torture. It was used also for sacrifices. So the cowbell and the Grim Reaper seem unrelated at first glance, but they actually intersect through the same ancient death and fertility sound symbolism that traces back to pre-Christian and Near Eastern mother goddess rites. Because on the surface, it looked like, wait a minute, he just playing a cowbell. That's nothing that's harmless. Family, everything that is done is symbolisms. It has a message to it. There's a message to this. All right, let me pull this up here because I do want to pull up, add in here that MAGA. I want to go over MAGA again so you guys can understand the seriousness of this. Let me pull this up here real quick. All right. All right, Berean Scholar, you have it.
I put that in there for when you need it, because when you talk about the Scythian and all, it is this whole object right here, which you're done teaching on, is the scepter. This is all their creation, and it connects all these organizations. Now, I have no way of knowing how to zoom in on it, but I think I know how I can put it up there. I can zoom in on it because it shows all the things that we've been talking about, how they connect. And this thing is old. It's something they've been doing.
And I'm going to pull this over here real quick just to give you guys a refresher of the Scythians or Scythians, but really highlight some key points of their savagery. Let me pull it up here.
There we go. Take that one down, put the other one up there. It's easy to pull up to zoom in.
All right. While you discussing that, I'm just pulling some clips in. I mean, not clips, but a couple of videos. And I'm gonna pull a clip in too, so you guys understand how this ties into the commander in chief, because he's connected to it too. So let me do something real quick before I do that. Matter of fact, let me see here. Let me modify something here.
Okay, I got it large now. You can put it up now.
All right, let's see here.
While Pastor getting ready, guys, I'm gonna enlarge this And you know this, you've seen this before. If you've been on the lives before, you haven't. This is the connection of the cult of Baal. And I want you to just notice the very top. Baal worship, human sacrifice, the power death cult. With that video we just got through seeing. And this has hundreds of steps and organizations that have been designed throughout history to promote and carry out the agenda of this organization. I'm trying to do it slow so you can catch these things and look at yourself. I mean, I spent a day going through this stuff and pulling out and looking up what some of the meanings are. Did this catch anybody's attention right here? Even the perversion of the name, the table of laws. You will see biblical things in here, but why are they here? What are they doing here? What are they doing with them? If you go to page, it's the second page, it describes some of the things what they do. The main thing is deception. And it shows how the Catholic Church, the center of the Romans, two-faced gods, goddess, Junos to represent the two-faced nature of the Vatican, which is satanic at its core. The Vatican is also inedible, a pagan symbolism, and it does everything to present itself as a church, but it's deception. Now, not just that church, not just the Catholic Church, but the whole setup. If you know about the root of it, is the deception to fool us, to suck us into the drink the wine of deception of the whore of Babylon. And I know I'm gonna sweep through, because if you get down, you can see something like the World War. I think you did this, Albert Pike, the World War III. This is some of the stuff they're planning. They haven't happened yet. Eastern Star Mason, Andrew Jackson election. Here's a world events on the side that happened. The sinking of the Titanic. Everything had a meaning and a purpose. Killed opposition to the Fed. So it was not an accident. It was perfect to kill out some opposition to the Feds. Some of the elites that was on that Titanic was targeted. Federal Reserve, World War I. It gives you the event and lays out the purpose of what they did. Folks, this is deep.
And see, when you go back over, right below, right where you say Dionysus, Bacchus, Marduk, Baal.
Right here?
Yep, right there, right below where it says Norvis Ordo.
Oh yeah,
Liquorum.
right. US 1776.
And it has Masonic Atlantis. So, family, when you understand the Tensiphera, remember I touched on this before, the Tensiphera, the United States is in the same position of the Tensiphera, which is supposed to be the Kabbalah or the Jewish mysticism version of this tree of life. This is supposed to represent their deity's body. So this right here, that's equivalent to what's on the what is called the Ten Sifra. That is what is called the Shekinah or Shekinah, which is supposed to be the reproductive organ, right? Because this diagram has both male and female body parts, right? The phallus is called the foundation under the Ein Sof, and extended from the foundation is the Shekinah. So their deity is supposed to be a Morphodite, a Hermes Aphrodite. That's what the combination of that word is. That's what this is supposed to be. And so when you get into, especially when you start understanding Baal, Marduk, Horus, Dionysus, Bacchus, that's we get into the Bacchanalia and all of that. Krishna, right? When you just highlight all these things here, and I know you guys like, well, how did Jesus connect to that? See, the Greek pushed the name Jesus versus the ancient transliteration, because the name Jesus is an extension of the Greek transliteration of Yahweh Shah. So the Greek transliteration of that is Iesus. Iesus. Almost sounds like Zeus.
Exactly.
Right? So that name Jesus was purposely put in place to keep the Greek influence over it. Now, El, that's not an ancient pronunciation, family. El is not a pronunciation of any of the Hebraic terms, even the ancient Canaanites, because the ancient Canaanites had the same language. They had a version of Hebrew. This is where you get, actually, it would have been Allahah singular, Allahayam plural. Right? You'll see in the Israeli language, they'll say Eloha is supposed to be singular, but notice they still have the Oa sound in it. Why is the Oa sound in it? It's still paying homage to the Greeks. Diphthong, the Oa, the Omega, and the Alpha, which still connects to the tree worship, the ornaments on the tree worship. Oh, come on, family. And so many of us, when I say us from within this community, don't even realize you're still perpetuating and pushing their delusions, their deities. So when you say El is not a pronunciation even among the ancient Canaanites. That is a fact. When you say El, you're pronouncing, that's a modern pronunciation. You silencing the Alap to produce El. Right? So you have what is called the Karet. Right? You have the Segal, rather. And the Segal is a mark that the Masoretes, the 1948ers, created to silence the very letter and put those two dots under it to make the eh sound. And then that O sound is not an ancient pronunciation. That O sound is where now you have to silence the actual wa to make it into an vowel letter. And this is where you get the colon vav. So when you say Yahuwah or Jehovah in some of these variants, you are still pushing the Greek. In that OA sound, Oa, right? It comes together when you study the Greek in their culture. Oa pay homage to sexual rituals, the beginning and the end through what? Sexual rituals. Any comments, my brother? I know I went a little deep.
No, you were in like I said, common denominator. The L is created by who? Talmudic rabbinic rabbis. Same thing. They insert it into our word. They insert it into our vernacular that we take it since we've been reading the scripture on their behalf because they transliterated it. And people who are now coming to the awakening, we jump right back into their writings.
Absolutely. 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 You know what? Let me copy this over here too, because I said I want to touch on it real quick, kind of refresher for the people. The MAGA, and we'll touch a little bit on the Scythians. Let me see here. Let me pull that over here too. Let's see. Family, they are not, when I say they are not playing, man, they are not playing. They're playing chess, and we're not even playing checkers, man. You know what we're playing? We're playing Connect Four.
I was saying take that toe.
We are playing Connect Four while they are actually playing chess.
Yeah. They have so deceived us and pulled the wool over our eyes that everything is going on in front of us, but we can't see it. We don't know the codes.
Yeah. Let me see if I could pull it in, if I have it in this one here.
The same thing on the back of the dollar right here.
Yeah, let me pull a little of this over. You guys probably remember this from some of the earlier presentations of this series, and I've touched on this before. Actually, before the elections took place, I was already dealing with this subject. All right, so let's pull over. Let me pull this over here to this presentation. Actually, it may be in this one. Let me see if it's already here. So that way I wouldn't even have to copy this over. I want to do duplicates. Yeah, it's already here. You know what? This is what I'll do, family. I'm going to, let me pull this back up. So you guys understand, man, they putting this thing right in our face. All right. Oh, there we go. Now let's go to this portion of the presentation. Let me minimize this here. Let me close this out. You know, got presentations for days, man. Got presentations for days. Make me go public enemy. Had me going Rapper's Delight earlier.
I heard that. That was a laugh. It made my wife laugh so hard.
I didn't even expect to do that, man. Man, they was cracking up. They said, "Man, I don't know how you remember that."
Oh, I heard the people in the assembly that was going off too.
Oh man, yeah. At one time, I was pursuing being a comedian. So when a friend of mine's got booed at the Apollo, that shifted my desire to be a comedian. Let's see here. All right, here it is. All right, so let's deal with a witch. What is a witch? And I know we're getting ready to go into Halloween season. We're in it right now, the witching season. We see spell casting happening right now. That's why we can say emphatically, MAGA is a cult. Any of our brothers and sisters that was pushing for this person here was pushing for cult. And I'm not taking sides for any one of those ninjas. But I want to make sure you guys understand MAGA is a cult. a demonic cult. What is a witch? Here's the etymological dictionary of it. Female magician, sorceress, having dealing with the devil or evil spirits. You see the word Wicca, sorcerer, wizard, man. So a witch is not just a woman, it's a man. A man can hold the title as a witch. But also you see the word wizard. That's the common term. But they also refer to witches as well. Man who practices witchcraft or magic, to practice witchcraft. Divination, necromancer, one who wakes the dead. So when we go to the biblical aspects of it, what is a witch from a biblical perspective? We'll get to that in a second, but this source I want to pull from, the Women's Encyclopedia of Myths and Secrets by Barbara G. Walker. And I want to make it clear, family, don't go out and purchase these sources if you don't have a sound foundation of the text. Because if you're not careful, you can get tossed to and fro. I had to catch myself even dealing with the doing my in-depth studies of the Talmud and studying the Kabbalah. I had to put that stuff on pause for a little bit because that stuff could be eye opener, but at the same time, that stuff you indirectly could have stuff seeping into your spirit.
Yep.
Because that's how bad some of that stuff is. All right. So don't just because you see a source that you just go and get it. Again, if you don't have a consistent prayer life, if you're trying to cast out some demonic stuff in your life right now, don't go out here and get these sources. All right. So let's see what a witch is. It says here, there are many other words for witches, such as incantatrix, lamia, saga. What do we see here? What's next to saga? Can you guys see that here?
MAGA.
Let me change my mouse so that way you guys can see it here. Let me put the laser pointer here. Is that better, guys? Can you guys see that better?
Yep.
All right. So we got saga. What do we have here?
MAGA.
You guys see it here? Malefica, Sortilega, Strix, Benefica. Then we see Strega or Genara. All right. You even see Jana, Juno. But then you have the riotous cult, which is both hags and fairies. You see here Bacularia. But let's see some other terms here that you guys are familiar. But you see MAGA. And you also see Magus. Stick Rider. One with the evil eye. Screech Owl. Keeper of an ointment box. Incantator. So MAGA is interchangeable with a witch or warlock. Magus is a worker of charms. Here's another source. This is coming from the Church of Satan. The Church of Satan. Remember, Elon Musk said he is dark MAGA. Look at this. This is meritocracy at work. But the key I want you to highlight is their different degrees. They have 5 degrees. Let's go to their 5th degree. MAGA, Magus. Family, this is real, family. You can't make this stuff up. What is the role of a MAGA in the Church of Satan? In the Church of Satan, the role of MAGA or MAGAs represents mastery over satanic philosophy and ritual. And what do we see going back to this video here? I'm going to share this video one more time. That's why I say it's not a coincidence. Let me show this video clip one more time so you guys can understand what is going on here. Witchcraft coming directly out of
the White House.
The White House. This is sick, man.
Man.
This is sick, man. This is sick.
I just read on the Coat of Baal, the second page, with the art of deception, the goddess or god Juna, and you just read it in that witchcraft definition. Two-faced. He was talking about the Catholic Church, but he's talking about everything that this thing is involved with. We have been told.
What you referencing again, Scott? I'm sorry, I didn't catch it.
Juna.
Oh yeah, Juno. Yes, I didn't really go into deep, but yeah. Go
But
ahead.
what you just read it again. You know, the common denominators, and the code of they say one thing, but they mean another.
Exactly.
They say one thing, but they mean another. It's just like when we got into the depths of the Messianic. You know, they say, "Oh yeah, I believe in God," but what God they believe in?
That's right. That's right. And you take it a step further when you see Janus or Juno, right? Because initially it was Janus, but then they transitioned it over to Juno. When you look at the original triple goddess, which was the Etruscans, the triple goddess, also known as the triple witches, which is also referred to as the Capitoline Triad, which is the damsel, the mother, and the hag. The triple witches. That's crazy, right?
I mean, is it a coincidence that this is what this is sources you've had that this describing Satanism, describing witchcraft, the etymology of witchcraft, and the stuff that they're posting and the stuff they're doing lines up. The Coat of Baal, the chart we said that's an old chart. That's an old chart. What they say is doing it lines up. Is that a coincidence?
And see, look at this, family. Maga, a generic name for witch. The term usually denotes a pleasure-seeking witch. That's one of the attributes, right?
Pleasure-seeking. Lovers of self.
And then when we look at the Magas, look at what it says. One of the 10 grades corresponding to the Cyphera in Aleister Crowley's Kabbalistic system, the Magus in Cyphera 2, the sphere of the stars, attains to wisdom, declares his law, and his master of all magic in its greatest and highest sense. Oh man, now that I remember, if anything you want to say, Berean Scholar, let me pull this. I'm gonna upload this video here. I almost forgot. I was gonna blame you for me forgetting.
Now, I mean, this the Coat of Baal chart, the definition from this book, all these things are lining up. They're saying the same thing. What we hear in the media, what we hear from this group, like our president for years would say one thing. I don't know anything about this. I don't know anything about the Project 2025. But yet everybody who wrote that book is in his administration. He hired him in his administration. In fact, the very author of the designing the cults of the federal government, that's the one he's putting in that video. He posted on Truth. I'm going to be meeting with him. We're going to be making some big cuts. But yet we have people. In fact, I shared that video with a friend of mine about what's happening in Chicago. I knew he lived in Chicago. But when I shared the video, his comment was, well, yeah, but ABC is a liberal media and they're not telling the truth because, those areas, they targeted all these departments where all these illegals at. And he's still quoting the propaganda that the media is saying. We're targeting illegals. That's what they say. What they're doing, they're targeting anybody and everybody they can get that they don't want. What happened in that scenario, and I heard 3 or 4 different sources on that one siege, there were kids that were zip tied and taken away, Black kids who were not illegals, they were American citizens. And these things, these lies, they tell us to rev up their base. I worked in the social services for over 7 years. I worked in the school system for 15, almost 20 years, and also I worked in the hospital for 5 years at a mental health part of the hospital as a tech. And I understand how the system works. I've seen people who come in only on an emergency basis. They treat anybody on an emergency basis. Other than that, if you don't have you don't have support, they don't do anything. And the other stuff they keep telling us, that stuff is lies. They tell us so we get revved up and swallow their propaganda.
Man, let me pull something in real quick. I want you guys to see this here. Let me see here. Let me make sure I got the right one.
While you putting up, I had to do that probably. Like I said, I'm saying this about this administration, but both sides do the same thing. They tell us one thing, what we want to hear, but they do another.
And I want you guys to peep this out. Let me copy this over. You guys got me working overtime here, adding this stuff here. you know how it goes, Berean Scholar, when you're doing these, you have a presentation, you start doing certain things on the fly.
I'm looking in there. I'm looking in the chat. Is somebody no, Jesus did not make the Catholic Church.
No, he did not create the church. He did not create a religion called Catholic. He did not create Christianity. He did not create Islam. He created none of these so-called Abrahamic faiths, nor did he practice them. None of the ancient Israelites practiced any of this stuff.
If you want to read it, there's another book you can read about the so-called church fathers, where they proclaim they did everything they can to wipe out the original Hebrews tent of this movement, and they put everything they want to do to bring in their beliefs, their philosophy, and created the Catholic Church. They did that.
All right, so while you're talking, let me bring this over here. Let me get to that slide. I already modified the slide, so let me get to it. I'm going to play a clip too to connect the dots, so you guys can understand, family. This stuff is real. This stuff is real. It is real. I'm gonna have to do a documentary, a short documentary. You're gonna have me working in the lab tomorrow. I've been meaning to get back on part 2 of Blotted Out, but I'm gonna have to go into the lab. How you do shake off the dust.
What are you gonna do today? What are you gonna do today, Pinky?
All right, man. I know where you live at. All right. So, family, peep this out. Peep this out. So you guys understand. This is not a coincidence how outside of Lyndon B. Johnson, he's just as aggressive, if not more, dedicated to the 1948ers. So let me play a clip first, and then we'll share this source that I have on the screen.
Should we do that on camera?
Absolutely. Sure. So to let you know, this is the birth certificate of Donald Trump's grandfather, born in 1869, close to Bad Dürkheim.
Right.
Yeah.
That's called
and
serious.
His Christian name was Friedrich.
Right. That's serious German.
Serious German.
That's serious. Bad Dürkheim is serious German. But I want to thank you very much for. First of all, I want to thank you for that. That's
my
beautiful.
pleasure.
Thank you very much.
Thank you again.
Fantastic. We'll put it up in a place of honor.
Yeah.
So, family, and that whole scene that you saw there, that whole scenario there with the presentation of Donald Trump's grandfather, in 2018, during Trump's visit to Europe, he was presented a plaque containing his grandfather's German birth certificate by a German official. All right. Let me go ahead here. New York Post, Trump gifted gold frame copy of grandfather's birth certificate from German Chancellor Friedrich Merz, Anna Young. Actually, this should be not 2025, but as I pointed out, 2018 or whatever. Look at this here. German Chancellor Friedrich Merz gifted Trump a gilded frame copy of his grandfather's birth certificate during their first face-to-face meeting at the White House. The golden case present a reflection of the president's signature Oval Office decor, paid tribute to Frederick Trump, who was born in Karlstadt, Germany in 1869 and later immigrated to the United States. Now, I know some of you guys, did I put it here? Yeah, that's what that is here. I just read there. Let me see. I didn't put it in here. But that territory is an Ashkenazi or 1948er location. That is a Ashkenazi location, an Ashkenazi city. And that's a fact. I didn't put it in there. I thought I had it in there. I didn't have it in my original. Well, I have it in my original, but I didn't pull it up here. I thought I could pull it up here, but it is what it is. All right. But yeah, that is an Ashkenazi city. Ashkenazi 1948ers city. Think that's a coincidence? His commitment, his dedication to that group of people, and going above and beyond. See, all what you see with the so-called when you saw the whole thing, remember the thing with him and Netanyahu when he said, I'm gonna give you 50 days to stop what you're doing. Wait a minute, you're gonna give him 50 days. So basically he can wreck shop for 50 days. That was all smoke and mirrors. He had no intentions of doing anything.
Yeah, you're right.
He still haven't done anything to him. And then this so-called agreement. One thing about the 1948ers is in the Talmud that they can break agreements.
And they will.
And they will break this agreement. It's in the Talmud that they could break whatever agreements that they enter into. Family, this stuff is real. It is real. And see, they are part of what is called the Lubavitchers. Their Messiah is the Rabbi Schneerson, who died, but he was very instrumental because his name is inside the so-called education bill that was passed in like 1990, 1991. That's where they introduced the so-called Noahide laws, which is not biblical at all. The Rebbe that you saw that I have in one of my videos with the commander-in-chief paying homage to him with the rest of them. Now, I see a comment in the comment section referring to him as the Antichrist. I encourage you to go and watch the video I did, in-depth teaching I did on the Antichrist versus the son of perdition. And I'll say this, he's not the Antichrist, even though it's similar, but the Antichrist, according to scripture, comes from within our community. The commander-in-chief is not part of our community. But guess what? When you deal with the son of perdition, that's the bloodline of Japheth. That's what you see here. It's all about their bloodline. Now, they're still anti against the Messiah, but the actual term antichrist is used for Israelites that have what? Walked away. That used to be among us teaching this truth. And then they said, hey, you know what? I don't want to deal with that no more. And start speaking against it. Any comments, Berean Scholar?
No, you're right on that one. Yeah. I was
See,
looking for
that
that.
Europeans' approach to the scriptures have to generalize everything. That eschatology, right? That you see many are teaching comes from the Christian Catholic Church. So everything is just lumped in. So you really won't see the moving parts. Berean Scholar like myself, we had to what? Literally brush aside stacks of books. All that money we put into our education, right? Had to put all that aside to understand that you got these stacks of books that most of them became nothing but a glorified, expensive door stopper. But you know what? Count it all joy, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, because if we had we not been in those spaces, we probably wouldn't be able to go into the depth that we're going to right now. So at least we know what's being taught. Any comments, Berean Scholar?
And we also know how to recognize when we come across things that smell like what we came out of.
Exactly. Say that again. Discernment, right? Say that
discernment,
again,
because since we've been so trained in most of the things you get from seminary, you see things and
Did you
trends
say
that come up.
cemetery? I mean, or you
I was there too. I would.
Okay. All right.
I'm alive
I
now,
wasn't sure
bro.
if you said
I'm alive.
cemetery.
I'm alive now. But once you come out, then you hear some of the doctrines and some of the sayings that come through from the mouth of some of my people in the awakening. You say, wait a minute, that's Christianity. That's what we we were taught back in the dark ages. But so we want to walk in the light now.
Man, walking that light.
Yeah.
That beautiful light somewhere where the dewdrops of mercy shine bright. Now let me stop.
But see, it's imperative that we understand, and for everybody's on this chat, that you understand what he's saying with what they're doing now, and how they're pushing the agenda, and they're pushing it fast and in a hurry, because we are in the ninth hour, and we have a responsibility as the people of the Most High to know what his purpose for us, to know his word, to know his purpose, and to be able to relay that to all the people around us. It's up to us.
Absolutely.
But most of us are swallowing the Kool-Aid. We're drinking the Kool-Aid with them.
And to that point, family, I know you see Revelations 13:7 up, and we'll touch a little bit about the Scythians to tie it in, to show some of the barbaric things that they've done, and that they are actually known for their barbaric behavior. This is Revelation chapter 13, verse 7. This is when, everything coming together. I felt like Neo inside the Matrix. I was being up late nights to like 3:30 in the morning, knowing I have to get up at 4 in the morning and be on the road by 4:30. Just studying, and just how my wife would come to my office here and say, you know it's late, right? And I look at her and say, I know kung fu, like Neo. Only difference is my wife's like, I'm going back to bed.
It's my wife. She, boy, please.
So, family, Revelation chapter 13, verse 7. The Most High had me teach Exodus chapter 10 for over 3 years, almost 4 years, teaching the same chapter over and over again. And then he released me to go read Revelation again and study Revelations after emptying out all the poor theologies, that the teachings that we were subjected to. He had me just read Torah, just started with the book of Genesis. He had me just keep reading it as I'm studying ancient Hebrew, not this Israeli stuff, ancient Hebrew. And then all the dots started connecting. Chapter 10 just reveals so much to me. And then when I was reading that, it made me think about Revelation 13 that I'm getting ready to share here. Verse 7, look at what it says. And it was given unto him to make war with the saints. The proper translation would be holy people of Yah. That word saint is a Catholic word. That word was created specifically for the leaders of the Roman Catholic Church.
Yep.
Those who achieved sainthood after they died. That's not biblical. They don't have the right to say who is holy and unholy. We're the holy people of Yah. So, and it was given unto him to make war with the holy people of Yah. We could just say the Israelites, because that's what it is here in this text. And to overcome them, and power was given him over all Shabbat. Right? Shabbat means kindreds. Shabbat is the day of rest, the day of celebration. But we see Shabbat, kindreds, which is families that you see in Exodus chapter 10. Tongues, Lashon, and nations, Gawayam or Gayam. But what's interesting here, family, is when everything started coming together about the transatlantic world war. I know I can tell you about that like the back of my hand. I started understanding the prophecies more clearer. When we look at no man can buy or sell, that's the system of validation. That's the system of approval. We've been in that system well before they came up with some computer chip. We've been in that system well before they came up with a birth certificate and a social security card. You know what it's called? The fleur de lis. That symbol that you see on the New Orleans Saints helmet. In the Egyptian culture or the Kemet culture or Kamat culture, it is referred to as the lotus flower. It was the 10th century that the Catholic Church referred to that as a symbol of the Trinity. They used that to brandon our people. They know that Leviticus 19 makes it clear we're not supposed to put marks and tattoos on our bodies. So they took that fleur de lis, because that fleur de lis, they used that not only to put their mark branding us with, they also used that to slit the hamstrings of the slaves that ran away. Then they will also take that and put that fleur de lis over a fire, and then they will use that to mutilate the faces, the nose, put a slit down the face of our ancestors' faces, and then put their face over fire so that, oh, come on now, I know it's gross. That's what they did. That's why, man, I can't go near that football anymore. Can't go near that stuff anymore. When you start understanding the history. So when I saw that and start understanding the mark of the beast, not only did they brand the people, but you see language here. So when you understand what they call Israeli language, that's the proper context that they try to disguise it as modern Hebrew or biblical Hebrew. Yeah, they taking biblical transliterations and putting their own marks on those words. But that's not the ancient or what they call the Paleo Hebrew. That's not it. So you see those marks. Those marks is what is referred to as the Nakud in the ancient Hebrew, not quad. Those are what? Branded. Those are not natural marks. And that'll take you to Jacob with his goats and his sheep. Those that had what? Spotted and speckled. Those that had natural marks, and those he had to what? Put a mark on it himself to show that it belonged to him. Oh yeah, I'm going deep, right? Y'all got me going geek mode. Berean scholar mentioned the brain. He started it. Blame Berean scholar for mentioning the brain. So you see here, family, if we wake up, we will see that this beast, referring to that fourth beast in Daniel chapter 7, great with manipulation. That's the main attribute, manipulation. You see, it did not only just have power over us as a people, but also had power over our what? Language. And then mock us with the word ebonics. Even though that word ebonics still ties into ebony, ties into what? Ebo. Oh, yeah. Y'all making me go geek mode tonight. Any comments, Berean Scholar?
You can keep going, brother. Keep going.
So when I saw this, Berean Scholar, everything, when I say going back over Genesis multiple times, understanding the history, family, anyone that's telling you that we are getting ready to go into the Great Tribulation, they are deceiving you. We've been there. We came out of the Great Tribulation. We're going into another time of mourning and affliction. And the scripture says in Matthew 4, as the Messiah said, then we're going to do what? We're going to see signs. We're going to see signs of his return. See, I know some of you guys are like, wait a minute, Pastor 3. Yes, if you understand the third letter of the Hebrew Aleph Bayat, it's the Gamal. It means maturity. That finally, at those 3 times of affliction, finally, we're going to come together as a people. We're going to start mourning all over the world, everywhere that we're scattered to. Whether we're scattered in Brazil, which is the second largest territory of Negroes outside of Africa, Haiti, all these different places, we're going to start crying out saying, yeah, we're down. We are cut off. We've been lied to. We are confused. We're disappointed. We're ashamed. We are ashamed. That's what the word mourn means. Saying we separating ourselves out of disappointment. So it's going to take us to get to that state of what? Gamal. Understanding that everything that they put in place cannot sustain us.
Come on.
I see you have something up, Berean Scholar. You want me to share that?
Before you pull it up, I'll point out the markings on your translation in scripture. Shabbat, kindred.
Let me pull it up here. I'll zoom it in.
And you spelled it out in the Paleo Hebrew.
So as you see, Shabbat, kindreds, right? And see what you see here, right? This is the Tat, which means storage, right? This looks like the bottom of a clay pot or the top of a pot, but storage, right? So when we see here, the Shan, teeth, tool, Bayath, house, bloodline, then we see what? The Tat. In the Israeli, it's pronounced Tet. But you see how this ties into the importance of family? Kindreds. And then we see here, Lashan, tongues. And this is did I put it there? There it is. Lashan. The Lamad, the numerical value is 30. And it means disciple. It means teach. But the key is skilled at learning. We see that Shan again, and then we see the Non, which means sprout. It means seed. Come on, family.
Now I'm gonna ask you this question. Now, this is the writing that if Moses saw that writing, would he be able to read that?
If Moses saw these letters, he'll be able to read it.
Now,
but if he see these letters of today, these block letters,
those the block letters that that when you go into the Strong's, you see the modern day Hebrew, it's different. That only came along in what the sixth century, 600,
Yeah,
16th century.
when we deal with the block letters, now the block letters began its usage for the first time when you go back to the Babylonians, right? Um, Actually, I would go not back Babylonians, but the Syrians during these Assyrian uh, captivity, and you have what is called the Elephantine Papyrus, right? That was written by soldiers, not by scribes, and that's what many people run with. But they were still holding on to the ancient Hebrew, but they call that Aramaic like a what is it called? Oh, I can't think of the top of my head what it is. But anyway, but they were still also writing ancient Hebrew, the Paleo that as you just pointed out, right? But
Phoenician.
no, it's another term for the Aramaic that they were using at that time. But even in that the text, they still maintained the ancient Paleo writings of the Most High's name. Just like in the Greek Septuagint, they wrote it in that Greek coin, that Greek, language, but guess what? They still made sure they held on to. They had Hebraic letters. Some they have the Paleo, while others they have the Aramaic inside those Greek manuscripts.
And these writings that you like, if you looked at the Dead Sea Scrolls, will you see the block letters, or you see these letters?
Absolutely, and in some of the scripts you'll see the block letters. In some of the scripts you'll see the ancient letters, but those Dead Sea Scrolls doesn't date back to the time of Moses. Many of those date back to like the 2nd century BCE.
Now I'm asking this question. We're doing this live. How did that influence other societies during that time, like the Phoenicians?
Now, when we deal with the Phoenicians, also, some have referred to them as Canaanites.
Exactly.
That's kind of synonymous to how we use the word Negro, because Negro is not just a descriptor for our community. Is the attributes around the world, right? Because you'll have Negro being used in different groups, people groups in Africa, right? Egypt. But when we look at that, when we oh man, I just lost my thought. Man, I just forgot my thought.
But since the Phoenician are the Canaanites.
Oh yeah, the Phoenicians. There you go. Go ahead. Let me get them. I was about to go somewhere else. But when you deal with the Phoenicians and you deal with the Greeks, you have what is called the trade language.
Exactly.
The Greeks didn't have a written language. The Phoenicians taught the Greeks their language, which will fall up under that umbrella of Shemitic languages, which is Hebrew.
Now you can put up my slide.
All right. So real quick. So what they did, and I'll put up this slide here. What they did was the Greeks took the letters and the ones that they had no use for it, they made vowel sounds to them, attached vowel sounds. For example, the alap. They silenced that and put what? Their own vowel sound. That's why it makes multiple sounds. Right? The ha, the yad. They changed that around and called it the eo. What is it? The iota. And the ayan that looks like a what? A O sound. A O. The letter O. Let me pull up your thing here.
Now, while y'all see the screen, look at this writing and look at the writing on the slide that he's gonna pull up. Paleo Hebrew, Semitic Hebrew. This is a stiller from Phoenician. Is it big enough? Now, do I need to enlarge this some more?
Oh, I can see it, but you can zoom in. But you can see it, family. This is Phoenician.
Same markings. Yeah. I mean, you see the same marking. And this is I forgot what how old this thing is, but this I think it's called the Camuic Stilla, found somewhere in the Levant, and it's dated 1200 AD. I mean, it's old Stilla, but you can see the same marking of Paleo Hebrew in the language, the same language. You don't see the block letters. You don't see the you don't see all that. But I'm just one thing points to our original our languages. Are you still there, Pastor?
Yeah, I'm just looking at it.
You're reading it, ain't you?
Yeah. Now, actually, I was bringing up some too. You could, in family, you see the letters.
Yeah, I say ka. That's the.
You see the alap, right where you at. You see ak. That the alap and that ka next to it to the left. That's
right
ak.
here.
Yeah.
Yep.
So you go over to your left a little. That letter right there is the a or the alap. Next to it is the ka, which is ak. We know what ak is, right? That's brother.
Brother. Right. This is ak right here together. I didn't put them together. It's talking about brother.
And so, real quick, I'm gonna share the screen real quick. I'm gonna share back with you guys so you guys can see what I had up on, and I'm gonna bring it back up here. You see the letters? Let me zoom it in. This is ancient Hebrew. That's right. It looks like Paleo because they are under the same umbrella. That's what you don't hear.
The kin folks. Long distant cousin. And Uncle Kush.
And you see some of these letters written exactly the same. All right. So family, that's why we say it's important, man. It is so important, right? Did you want me to go and bring it back up?
No. I just want to put a point because a lot of people are so caught up in what some people do and how most people say what's the biblical language, but it's so much material to show you where the language that we've been introduced to came from, and it didn't come from our people.
And family, real quick, I'm going to show you. We talked about the Scythians, right? I like to always give sources. So let me give you a source here. Let me put my mouse over here. Let me show you something here. Oh, dang, what I want. Let's touch on the behaviors of the Scythians. And we'll do the cremation rituals. We'll do that next week, family.
While you putting it up, I'm gonna drop the link in for tomorrow's live we're gonna be doing.
Okay.
I see we just lost Pure Repentance. Say goodbye, good night, and shalom to all the family because she had to turn in. She's a faithful sister.
And family, let's touch on the Scythians a little bit. We're just going to touch on it. I'm not going to go through all the Gog and Magog because you see the Scythians connected to all those groups. But I do want to touch a couple of things here real quick. All right, let me see here. Did I get to the beginning of it? Yeah. So this is coming from Genesis 10, verse 2. This is dealing with all the descendants of the sons of Japheth at verse 2. Magog, you'll see when you look at the different dictionaries out there, you'll see the name Scythian. You'll see it for most of these people that's listed here. But I just wanted to touch on a couple of things. According to the Eastern Bible Dictionary, 1894, Magog, I was about to say MAGA, right? Magog, rather, is also connected to the Scythians, right? Who are the Scythians, right? And I didn't put that in there. I should have put it in there because you would have saw that. But look at these words here. Scythian, called Scyth, Saka, Sake. Now, remember what we just covered, Berean Scholar? Let me go back here real quick. You guys remember this early on? Let me go back to that slide. I think it was this one right here. Dealing with Amazon. Do I have it here? Yeah, look at here. They became known as Sake, Sakastini, and Sestian or Sestan. But you see that word Sake. So if we go back over to where we were, you see that word? And you also see Sith.
Sith.
Look at that, Russia and Ukraine. You see Crimea. All right. Wow. Scythians, look at who they connected to. This article is connecting the Scythians to the Ashkenazi 1948ers. I'm not going to read all of this, but that's what this is saying. That they are connected to the Scythians, because you'll see at the top here, locating Ashkenazi Jews to primeval villages in ancient Iran. But look at where you see here. Let me go to here. The Jews call Ashkenazic, an example, Scythians. All right. Let's go to another source. Look at here. We see Scythian, Ashkenaz, but look at what we see underneath them. For Herodotus, or Herodias, or rather, excuse me, these people came to be called Scythians. We still see the connections. And I'm fast forwarding here again. Scythian culture begins in the 7th century BC. All right, let me get to another point here. The Anchor Bible Dictionary, still dealing with the Scythians. But look at what it says. Outside the Hebrew Bible, their reputation for savagery is alluded to, and it gives the Maccabees. But it's pointing out that they were what? Their savagery. I mean, they were ruthless. All right. So why did I post that? Let me fast forward. Let me see here. They're connected to the Khazars. You guys already know that, but let me fast forward here. Let me fast forward to some of their savagery real quick. Let's see here. Look at this here. 100-year-old leather, and realize it's made of human skin. A group of horse riding warriors kept some gruesome battle trophies. Look at this here. Scythians in modern day Ukraine made leather out of human skin. And they discovered, I think, at what it says here, sources of leather found on 14 different Scythian sites in southern Ukraine. Why is this important to know? Well, I'm not going to get into this, but they were making leather bags out of our ancestors, leather shoes, you name it. That's what this article is saying here, but I'm not going to read all of that. But then it made reference to Herodias or Herodotus. And it's still referring to the Scythians. All right. Last point I want to make out of this, guys. I know I mentioned the Vikings, the word Jew, Jots. Right. Let's go here. Actually, Let me see if this is where. All right, that's dealing with the DNAs being forbidden in Israel. All right, so this word jute, look at this here, jute. And then here we see Jutish, one of the ancient Germanic inhabitants of Jutland. Sound familiar, right, family? Think it's coincidental?
Right in our face.
Is there a coincidence that Jutes and Jutish sounds like Jew and Jewish? This source right here, origins of Jat race, because the Scythians were also called Jots, right? Scythian Jots or Scythian Jutes. All right. But just real quick, just to show the connection between the Jutes and the Vikings. Let me get there real quick. And we see Norman or Normandy, these are dealing with, or the Norsemen, also known as the Vikings. All right. So when we go here, Normans who belong, the fact that they were allies, notice what it says, Normans.
Pastor,
Can you hear me?
You went out for a while.
Okay, I'm sorry. All right, family. So Normans who belong to Scythian race, the fact that they were allies in their raid upon Britain is not enough for their racial confusion. All right, so these are dealing with the Vikings. And this is giving you more clarity here. Wrapping this up is, as you see here, the fact that the Danes, Vikings, or Normans were all Jutes. They were all different names under what? The same race of Scythian Jots. Chinese called them Yuchi. If you put a J on it, it sounds like what?
Juchi.
All right. There you have it, family. I'll stop right here.
Man, if I mean, when you was going to the Sith, it's a Scythian and Sith, right? SYTH, right?
Yeah.
SITH is what?
What'd you say now?
SITH is what? The Sith.
Oh, I thought you said something else, man.
Oh, no.
That's what I was like, huh?
No. But I mean, they put this stuff in our face. The evil Lord in Star Wars.
Man, I know, man. I got you because when you said it, man, and I guess because of your accent, man, I was like, no lie, man. I was like, when you said that, I was like, I wanted to look at the screen like this.
I didn't go off deep end, brother. I was just, when you're going through how the habits of these people and the making the leather out of skin and how dark they were. Going back to that video of the dark people in the clothes, they're telling you who they are. Even the people who write the movie, the person who wrote Star Wars, he is a 1948er.
That's right.
And they put their names in there. Oh, we'll make the evil master, evil Lord in Star Wars. We'll call him the Sith.
The Sith, yep.
Scythian.
Yep.
Man, right in your face.
Family, the information is right in our face. Right in our face. And never in a million years you would have thought what? There's a connection between the Scythians and the Grim Reaper. Something to think about, right?
Yeah, it's a lot. Brother in the chat, what's now said, this rap hole goes so deep.
Man, it is deep, family.
And
like
they are
say,
wicked.
deep.
They are wicked.
Wicked.
Wicked man. Wicked man.
They are wicked.
But the good news is, the Most High called us to be the light.
Absolutely, family. So it's more to unpack, and we'll do more. I may drop a video in a couple of days. Just you know how I do. I like to drop videos too, as well as lessons, but I like to drop videos. So I may drop a 10-minute video just to show some additional symbolisms in that video. But family, we cannot put our head in the sand and say, hey, we're just gonna wait for the Most High to come back. He
No.
never called us to behave and approach things that way. Now, of course, we're going to anticipate, but we still have to function. When we are told to wait on Yahweh, that means we still have to function. That's not for you to just sit in a room, padded walls, nothing, just sit in that room until you come back. Don't eat, no nothing. No, you still have to function. Still have to function. Because I'm seeing a lot of people within the awakening saying, we just need to wait. We don't need to. The prophecy is going to be fulfilled. To stop doing what we're doing. Stop even bringing this up. Yeah, family. I see quotes about. Some questions about Bible study. Go ahead, Berean Scholar. Before I go and get into it.
No, that's not even biblical. I mean, we're called to be watching them, bro. We're called to stand up and call out what's happening. That's what the word was. That was the prophet did. They told Israel, this is what's going to happen. This is what's going on. This is what you're doing wrong. They didn't say, well, I'm gonna sit back and let the Most High take care of it.
Absolutely. And I'm just typing this and putting this inside the chat for the Bible study. Those that are interested in the Bible study, I'm just going to put my email address to send me an email. All right. If you in our Bible studies are Tuesday or the third day of the week, which on East Coast time, beginning at 7:30. We're having a great time. We're going through the book of 1 Samuel, and now we're getting ready to go into chapter 3. So I encourage you guys, jump on there, shoot me an email, and I'll shoot you the link to be part of our Bible study. Just really want to start, building for many of you guys that may not have a place of worship or an assembly that you connect to. And you may be just like, hey, look, I'm just tired of all the craziness out there. I just want the straight truth that, that's not being filtered. Just give me the truth in my face, with the proper context of the scripture. That's what we do it with our Bible studies. We're going to give you exactly what the scripture says.
Amen.
We're not going to, water it down or anything. We're going to teach you exactly what the truth says. Aman, any comments, Berean Scholar? Because I know
I'm reading the comment. And said somebody, I think Nama Yah Israel says send the link to me. That's what he just dropped in. He dropped in the email, so you can email that and get the link and be on that Bible study. And for those in your comment you made earlier about we must be atone for our sins and cry loud and spare not. We need to be able to be the light and be able to lead others people into this truth and know what's true. We're going to talk about salvation tomorrow, and I think Pastor Kelly will be with us. We're going to talk about salvation, how we can what is matters of salvation. How can we lead people to not how the church taught us to do it. We're not going to know the four spiritual laws. We're not going to talk about evangelism, explosion, if you knew what that was. But we're going to talk about salvation tomorrow. So if you want to click on that link, make sure you can hit the notify button, 5:00 Eastern Standard Time. And I hope you enjoy it. I hope it bless you.
And for those that our Shabbats, it's just look up We Woke Now Extended. And that's where we normally broadcast our Shabbats over there. Today it was broadcasted on this channel, but normally all our Shabbats are on the We Woke Now Extended. And I kind of separate the two for a reason. All right. Someone said they email me. You already emailed me. I'll get to it definitely tomorrow. I haven't been able to check my email over the past couple of days. A lot going on, so I'll make sure that you guys get the link before this upcoming Bible study for sure. You'll have it tomorrow. Aman, any other things you want to share before we wrap up, Berean Scholar?
One last thing, guys. I'm going by the 80-20 rule. 20% of the people on this call right now are seekers who are seeking the truth. So those would be the people who will go on We Woke Now and study the playlist, learn more about the information, because he's just sharing bits and pieces now. Read it, look up the sources yourself, and make yourself a person who can go out and flood this zone with truth, because the truth is there. He's spending hours and hours and hours putting this stuff together, but we got to be able to know ourselves, to make ourselves, to study ourselves, to make ourselves approval, that we can go and lead our brothers and sisters into this light.
Absolutely, absolutely. Appreciate it, my brother, for saying that, because we definitely, family, we put a lot of time into what we're doing, and I want to encourage everyone. Did you drop your YouTube channel link?
I'll put the link to the live tomorrow, so that goes to my channel. So
okay, and I want to say, hey, subscribe to the channel, family, because we could build up communities from within. We got a nice platform here. The Most High allowed us, in spite of all the opposition. Family, we crossed over 95,000 subscribers, a couple of days ago. And at one time, I thought we weren't even going to make it this far. I can remember Berean Scholar, they had me locked for what, about 6-7 months. Had me locked at about 83,000.
Yeah,
deleting subscribers, the whole nine. So, so we, this is a reflection not of us here. It's a collaborative effort of you guys.
Exactly.
If you guys are not listening, guess what? Berean Scholar and myself, we'd just be talking to ourselves like on a phone call, right, Berean Scholar? We cutting up a little bit, but
we'll be enjoying ourselves. We'll be learning the truth, but we'll be just doing it in the wind.
Yeah, kind of like they say, preaching to the choir.
Exactly.
So with you guys, family, this is a major accomplishment for us. To have our own platforms that are in these spaces like this, and trust me, when we start seeing them try to restrict what they're attempting to restrict, that is telling you that we are in the ears of many people.
Exactly. And I mean, you're saying something that's attracting the enemy when they're trying to do all they can to keep people from hearing you. So thank you guys for sharing this post, sharing all the stuff We Woke Now, putting comments, watching it, because the hours you watch, the minutes you watch, that matters. Doing all that thing to make sure that you can get beyond the evil one, that crafty counsel that try to keep us down.
Absolutely. And family, will keep you posted on some things coming up, especially those that are, looking to come fellowship with us. Family, we're in the Richmond area of Virginia. We're located near the airport. If you want to come visit us, I'll give you the information. Shoot me an email, and we'll get that over to you. And Berean Scholar tell you, we're not like many groups out there. We have feast days. We don't charge anything for them. Of course, this year, because of the property we acquired earlier a few months ago, so we're doing some development work right now. So that's why we didn't open up the feast days like we would normally do. But we don't charge for any of our functions. Am I right, Berean Scholar?
Oh no, and you'll feel like family there when you get there, because there are people there from his local assembly. There were people I met from Chicago, from California, who've been on We Woke Now. We had a great time, and we worship.
And family, we want to keep that momentum going. And again, we don't do stuff like, there's a lot of assemblies out there that you have to be part of their assembly in order to participate in any of their functions. Other assemblies telling you not to wear certain things. We don't do that. As long as you don't come in there acting crazy, you know what I mean? We're good. We're good. You know, like I said, we don't charge for any of our functions. We never have. You've never seen us or on record. If you research I think we got a Facebook channel for our ministry that's been there for almost 16 years. You'll never see us an event on there that we're charging, even when we were still connected to Christianity. We had anniversaries, used to have pastoral and / church anniversaries, and we never asked people to give anything. We actually, because my thoughts was we should never have to pay for our own birthday party. So, but now that we embraced the law, statutes, and commandments properly, we honor feast of dedication. We don't need any of that stuff, and we give all credit to the Most High. But anyway,
hallelujah.
You know, that's what we're doing here. And we have some things that the Most High is opening up doors. Keep us in prayer, because the enemy do not like the things that we are doing. We acquired a nice piece of land, and that piece of land is now worth, in a short period of time, almost 5 times the amount that we paid for it.
Wow.
So you can imagine the status that it places you in. And because of that, there's opposition that's trying to hinder that. But we're going to move forward. So keep us lifted in prayer. We'll keep you focused. Not focused, but up to speed with the stuff we have going on, especially when you start being connected internally. We'll have these announcements internally. Some things we just don't like to put out in these YouTube streets. Right. So that's why we have in the Bible study certain teachings I don't put out here in the YouTube streets.
Right.
You know, that's for the assembly, you know, and that's for a reason, you know. But anyway, don't want to sound like I'm rambling. Family, we really appreciate you guys for the love and support. Thank you guys for getting We Woke Now to where it is right now. I would just say, hey, we got 95,000 down. We got 4,800 to go. Let's see if we can meet that milestone before the year's out, and we'll celebrate together. We got 4,800 to go. It's not about the numbers, but guess what? It's all about the number. Who's number one? Yahweh. Who has the final say? Yahweh. Hallelujah. You good, Berean Scholar? Anything else?
I'm great. It's about waking up those dry bones.
Hallelujah. Can these bones be revived? And as leaders in this position that we're in, we are required to know that Yahweh can revive these bones. And like he told us, speak life. Just continue to prophesy to these bones. Even when it looked like the process is harder than what we anticipated, still speak to the confusion. With that being said, family, in the words of the Most High that he gave to Moses, Mashah, to give to the Israelites when they were at what seemed to be a dead end after they got delivered out of Egypt. Now they had a dead end, the Red Sea, and the Egyptians coming up, which represents their past, coming up to try to catch up with them, to take them out and take many of them back to Egypt. The Most High had to give Moses this encouraging word to give to them. Exodus chapter 14, verse 13 to 14. Fear ye not, stand still, see the salvation of Yahweh. These Egyptians that you see here today will not have power over you ever again. The Most High will fight for you, but we have to hold our peace. The Hebrew word there in that text is charash, which means be quiet. Can't go back, can't stay here. Keep moving forward. Shalom.
Listen, Genesis chapter 11, verse 10 explains the genealogy of Shem. Shem was a black man in Africa. If you repeat this back, Genesis 14, verse 13, Abraham steps on the scene. Being a descendant of Shem, which is a fact, means Abraham too was black. Abraham, born in the city of a black man, called Nimrod, grandson of Ham. Ham had 4 sons. One was named Canaan. Here, let me do some explaining. Abraham, Isaac was the... Jacob had 12
sons, for real. And these were the children of Israel, according to Genesis chapter 10. These were the children of Israel, according to Genesis chapter 10.